Welcome to LessonBank CEO series, a platform where we interview leaders, founders, and executives who share their real experiences, their real lessons, and their real mistakes that other people can learn from. Here we turn mistakes into wisdom. So my name is Akim. I'm the founder of LessonBank. With me today, I have Mr. Yusuf Liadi. He's the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of iLead Africa, and is a man that is developing civic tech space for Africans and Nigeria. So I'm going to give Mr. Yusuf space to introduce himself and tell us what he does at iLead Africa.
Hello, and thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Yusuf Liadi Abiodun. I work as Chief Executive with iLead Africa. iLead Africa is a leading civic tech organization that focuses on using digital technology, data, and AI for social good. We look at how we can use digital technology to improve the governance, and as a result of that, to achieve the sustainable impact on the people, on the community, and the society at large. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction.
Thank you,
Mr. Yusuf. Before I go to the first question, I want to tell you briefly about why I'm building LessonBank.
Okay.
It's because in 2015, I made a terrible mistake, a very costly mistake that led to my deportation from United Kingdom. And that broke me, but it didn't break me into pieces because I was able to pick myself up together. And the wisdom that I learned from that happening has actually helped me to turn myself up and bring about myself in a way that I can see that wisdom can actually come out of lessons. So that is just a brief introduction into how and why I'm building LessonBank. So, and this will lead me into my first question, sir. So when you were trying to build iLead Africa, what was the biggest mistake that you faced, you encountered, that at this moment it can never happen again?
Okay, first I need to acknowledge that in the process of attaining the success, of course, you encounter a lot of challenges, you will make mistakes, and picking from your introduction of what LessonBank is all about, which is really commendable, learning from other mistakes so that you will not fall into that victim, and you can use that to guide your life and putting your life together. So you mentioned that you don't allow the mistakes to let you down. You turn that mistake to wisdom, and that is most important, because in this life, it's only people that are signing away from responsibility, from taking action, that will not make a mistake. So as far as you are trying to be successful, you are trying to be someone in life, you are trying to make something happen, meaningful happen for your life, you will make a mistake. So mistake is a result of trying to make something good happen. Let's take, for example, if when we are in primary school, when we are small, they give us an assignment, and maybe you made a mistake, they ask you to go and do it again. Sure. So that is also applying into the normal life. You will make a mistake, then you don't let it to let you down. You then push again, you try again. So relating back to your question on how the challenges we face in building iLead Africa, I think one major thing that stand out in that process is being able, when we started, I trying to do everything alone myself, and maybe because of there's no enough resources, you'll be the one to be the you will be the executive assistant, you will be the graphic designer. Yes, you want to do everything alone, and at some point you even be the social media manager, graphic designer, and later I realized that that's actually delaying the progress of the organization, because as a leader, what you need to focus on as a startup leader is how you want to institutionalize your organization. You focus more on building the leadership aspect of it, bringing up people that will work with you, and not quickly, or do it on time. It affects the progress, and when I learned from that mistake, get on track, call for volunteer, find a like-minded individual that can actually work with me and work together, and focus more on leadership, delegate duties, and finding strategic partnership, and institutionalize the organization. So I think for me, looking at doing everything alone is the biggest mistake. But like you said, you don't let the mistake let you down. But focus more on
at that point.
Turn it to wisdom.
At that point that you were doing everything on your own, what was your mindset at that time?
Yeah, my mindset is, I just believe I can do it. I believe I can do it, and for the fact that it's my vision, it's my dream. So I push more. I put more efforts in it. I put more hard work, and I don't know, hard work sometimes is not leading to sustainable impact. Exactly. So making effort, but most time is not turned to sustainable impact, and that's what's most important in this space.
That's a very insightful one, because if you are looking to do everything on your own, you're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you cannot just be 10 man, you're just one man.
Yeah.
So, and that leads me to the next question. What was one decision that you took at that time? You thought that decision was right at the time, but you later found out it was a costly mistake.
Yeah. Basically, it relates to what I mentioned earlier, which is doing everything alone. And at that point, we're just organizing. We just putting, put a lot of activities out there, organize program, initiative, idea, and it not allow us to be focused on a particular problem that we want to solve.
Okay.
So doing everything, it's a lack of mission, and it's a lack of focus. Okay. You cannot be everywhere. You cannot do everything. You need to identify the problem that you want to solve, and then if it's just one solution that you have at that time, address it to that particular issue and work towards it. So that time, that I think is the best decision, to be organizing different events on climate, on women, gender inequality, youth empowerment, youth participation.
So there was no focus.
There's no focus. So there's no particular focus. But when I realized that, and all this effort we are organizing, it not even make it more easy for us to be able to identify the impact we are creating, because it's not streamlined in one particular area. So we are just doing this, doing that, and that's the message for a young startup leader. You identify the problem and you tailor your solution to address that problem. You cannot solve all the issues. You cannot solve it at a time. So along the line, if you are growing, as you are expanding, if you want to focus on other challenges, or you want to do other stuff, you can begin to introduce them into the system. But for a starting, you need to streamline and focus on a particular issue you want to solve, and that will not even confuse your supporter or your partner, because when they see you everywhere, they get confused of which is
Where are
particular
you
thing
exactly?
you are doing. So, but if you are focused, if you streamline your effort in a particular, and you channel your energy in a particular aspect, you make it more easier even to get the support you are expecting. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much for that, because what I can deduce from what you have just said is you need to be focused. You don't have to be everywhere.
Yeah, you cannot be everywhere.
Your attempts to be everywhere will simply mean you are nowhere.
Yeah, you are. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You will later realize that you are not even anywhere.
So, at that point, what is the recovery strategy that you employed that has now helped iLead Africa to scale into success? Or what are those strategies for young leaders, for upcoming founders, so that they can understand what they're going to be doing to be able to get into success?
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
one of the strategies we deploy is for me to first understand that what's the mission of this organization.
Okay.
So what exactly do we want to do? And then define
the mission
and the vision of your organization, and that will allow you to be focused on the activities that you want to do. So if you are able to get that focus right,
yeah.
Through your mission and the vision of your platform or your organization or your initiative, that will help you a lot, because you tend to channel all your resources, all your, finance and every support on one particular thing. So that's the first thing that we do. The second thing that I embark on is to look more beyond I want to do it alone.
Okay.
Then we embrace collaboration. You identify people that want to work with you. Collaborating starts from the team that want to work with you. When we are talking about collaboration, a lot of people will think, it's when you have a big partner with a big organization or company. No. So if you identifying someone that can complement your effort,
yep,
it's part of the collaboration. If you want to build an app and you have an idea, but you don't know how to code, but you find someone that can do that for you, that's part of collaboration.
Exactly.
So we are here having this conversation. Someone is behind the camera,
of course,
making this happen. That's part of the collaboration. If it's not there, it will not make it our work more feasible for people to see.
Exactly.
So we do that, embrace collaboration, and then they find that we cannot solve all the problem alone. And if we have something to do, if we have any activities we want to do, and we identify someone that's been already doing it, find a way to, join efforts together to do more instead of starting from scratch. And the next one is we introduce technology into into the work that we do. You agree this is a digital world?
Yes.
And every decision is actually, let me say, 90% of the decision is concluded online now.
Exactly.
So you need to find a way to, being on digital your work, find a way to align your work with a digital technology. At little as you can, it can be on the social media. Have a page on social media. If you have the resources, you can build what's it called, website or app, or so align your work on digital, leverage on digital technology can go a long way. And lastly, is strategic partnership. We look for more people that can, that we are doing similar things and we can collaborate together and we can work together. So partnership most time can be a strategic partnership, can be technical. It may not necessarily to be on the funding or finance. Of course, that is also important, but you identify people that have those technical support that can give you at the initial stage, and those people that have the finance that can support you as well. So those are the corporate strategies to get out of that challenges and turn the mistakes to wisdom.
You turn the mistake around. That's a very wisdomic things to do, because because it's not easy.
It's
to
not
think,
easy.
to think strategically. So, and that again will bring me to the next question, because we have a lot of founders in civic space and governance, people that are actually looking up to people like you. They are looking for to people like you, to like what are this kind of leader doing to be able to like show us the way. That will now bring me to the question that what are those opportunities that are available for young civic tech leaders, the upcoming ones? So what are those opportunities that are available right now? Now that we're in a digitized world, we're in a technical world. So what are those opportunities that you think, if an upcoming leader imbibe into their journey, to make their journey easy and successful, just like you are?
One of the opportunity that's, or let me say the top of the opportunity that is available for young people of today now, is digital tech. It's the technology. Because in the olden day, they don't have access to, maybe internet or website or something, and we have access to
AI.
So yes, we are talking about the artificial intelligence, and we can see how it has moved, drastically to, affect all the area of activities that we do, in business, in civic space, in our daily life, in communication.
It's an enabler.
So it's enabling every environment, every aspect of our life. Artificial intelligence is already pausing into that, and you can also think on how you can make use of this. Some of them are actually for free. You don't need to pay for some of those resources. Let's give an example for ChatGPT. For you to have access to it, register on it, you don't need to pay, except if you want a premium that you can subscribe. But for you to maybe you want to structure your CV, it can do that for you for free. Maybe you want to write a document, even to come up with your business proposal, it can restructure it for you.
It can even reshape your idea.
Of course, it can shape your idea. It can give you more detail about your particular idea. If you are thinking about particular thing and you put it on ChatGPT, it can give you broader knowledge on it. So these are the opportunities that we need to key into. And beyond that, the social media we are looking, it's more beyond just posting. It's a great opportunity as well. It's more than beyond posting. We have seen a lot of people. I have a couple of my friends that they got a good over on LinkedIn, because they are able to build a real collection, talk to them about what you do, and if they have any opportunity, they reach out to them and they give them the job. So those are the opportunity that we have access to. And of course, a lot of support is also ongoing. We have Nigeria Youth Future Fund. We support young initiative idea in civil space. Recently they called for the application. I think the application is closed now, but probably they will still open it. I'm sure of that. So they are supporting with finance, because it's not everything that is going to be a technical support. So we also need a little finance to push forward. So, and a couple of them, we have a UEU grant as well, that look beyond just Nigeria. They capture the both Africa and European countries. So these are there for young people to tap into. And finally, I will also mention a mentorship. A LessonBank like this is part of the support they can also subscribe to. Listening to the, what this is giving to you. It's not that it's going to tell you not to make a mistake, but it's going to guide you not to make the same mistakes that that person has already passed through. So you learn from the process, you learn from that knowledge, and you're applying those ones that applying to you to guide your way, and that can go a long way. Because if the mistake or what you're supposed to achieve in 5 years, you have seen someone that's take a longer year and is share their experience with you, that can save you like 4 years.
Exactly.
So you can be able to achieve that in a little time. So subscribe to the LessonBank, listen to the rich conversation from
Listen
the
to wisdom.
top leaders, and use those ideas, those wisdom to guide your own life. So those are the opportunity for young people.
Thank you very much, and I got a lot of wisdom from what you have said, because your insights are so powerful.
Thank you.
Because you have been there, and your idea, your knowledge, your wisdom is actually there for some other people to learn from.
Thank you.
And to shape their own life. And this will like bring me to the final question. What's your advice for an upcoming person, a man or a woman that is just coming up, but he or she is confused? So what's your advice for such kind of people?
My advice to the young people that are coming on board, I will not tell you not to make a mistake.
Of course.
Because it's from the process of making the mistake that you are going to get it right.
Exactly.
So, what I will ask you is to start taking action. Start taking action. Take the responsibility for your life. What we have seen in some cases is young people shying away from their responsibility. The responsibility is to fix your life. It's not to shift that to your parents, to your uncle, to your friend, or anyone that don't give you the support. You need to find how your life wants to be better. So that is your responsibility, and you don't need to shy away from it. So take part of your responsibility is to also contribute to the society. You know, we are expecting an election in 2027, and for you to determine who is going to be our next leader, because whether we like it or not, whoever emerges as a leader is going to affect your life personally and your business or initiative or whatever you are doing, because they are going to make a policy, and that policy will bite on you and your business or whatever. So it's part of your responsibility to ensure that you elect a credible, transparent and accountable leader. And part of your responsibility as well is to be an active citizen, be a good citizen, ensuring that you contribute positively to your society. You don't contribute in negative side. So this is my advice for you. You start taking action from today as you are watching this episode. Begin to take action for your life. Don't run away from your responsibility. No one is there to take it for you. They also have their own responsibility. So you need to face the reality of your life and then ensure that mistake is not let you down, but it empower you. Normalize the mistake. I used to tell people, you need to find a way to normalize the mistake.
Exactly.
To know that, oh, in the process, in the journey of being a successful person, you will make a mistake, but you learn from it. You turn that to the wisdom, and then you're applying it next. You want to take another action. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that beautiful conversation.
You're welcome.
I'm sure we have learned one or two things from your wealth of wisdom.
Yeah.
And even me, I've learned a lot of things from your wisdom, and that is why LessonBank is here, for us to be able to learn from leaders who have been there and done that. Those people who have made the mistake that you're supposed to make. Because the reason why LessonBank is here is because the mistake that you have made, the coming generation, the next generation will not be able to make that mistake. And that is why we are here, to show people the rope, that you don't have to make all mistakes. There are some mistakes that are actually avoidable, that you are not supposed to make. But some mistake that you're supposed to make, and if you have seen someone who has made that same mistake and has told you something about it, you need to know how to take your step so that you can avoid those mistakes. This is insightful, this is wisdomic, this is full of insights, Mr. Yusuf. Thank you very much for this wonderful conversation. I know a lot of our viewers have actually learned one. So if you have learned one or two things from this conversation, please share this video to those who you think may actually need it. And at the same time, we are now collecting real wisdom and real mistakes in LessonBank. The link is in the description. You can fill in the form. Tell us your mistake. We want to hear your mistake. The LessonBank wants to know where you have failed, because your failure is a wisdom to some other people. Don't keep the failure to yourself. Don't keep your mistake to yourself. Fill in the form. Tell us what you have been through, because someone somewhere will read what you have documented as your mistake and channel their own parts, and they will not make a similar mistake. So thank you very much, Mr. Yusuf, for coming.
Thank you for
really
having
appreciate you. If you have time too, you can go into our YouTube and help us to fill in the the form.
Sure.
So we've now come to the end of this show. Like our channel, subscribe, share this wonderful conversation with someone that you think might need it. And if you need it as well, please learn from what we have discussed this evening. Thank you very much, and God bless you, Mr. Yusuf. Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
We appreciate
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.